Have you ever seen a cover screen on a flip that can play Pokemon Unite, run benchmarks, and make calls? The new Moto Razr 50 Ultra can do all of that, and now with a bigger 4-inch covered display. Motorola is marketing this device as not just a foldable phone but also a powerhouse of AI capabilities. And we just unveiled our new Digit AIQ scoring method where we score the AI capabilities of a smartphone. So we are geared up to test the Motorola Razr 50 Ultra's AI chops. But first, let's begin with my first impressions, and yeah, subscribe to Digit for more awesome content like this. First off, let's talk about the unboxing experience. The Moto Razr 50 Ultra is priced at Rs 99,999 and this includes all the lovely things in the box along with the Moto Buds Plus worth Rs 9,999. And no, you can't opt out of the Moto Buds Plus, which seems a bit harsh. What if I just bought the Buds Plus a couple of weeks ago? Now I just have two. The Razr 50 Ultra runs on Android 14 with Hello UI. It packs nearly flagship specs like the Snapdragon 8S Gen 3, LPDDR5X RAM and UFS 4.0 storage, giving you 12 GB of RAM and 512 GB of internal storage. Sadly though, it only has a USB 2.0 port, which should have been 3.2 at this price. I mean, it needed to be that. The 4000 mAh battery seems decent so far, offering about a day's worth of battery life. It also has wireless charging support. Design-wise, it has the Corning Gorilla Glass Victus on the cover display, leather on the back and an aluminum frame. It's 7.09 mm thick when unfolded and 15.32 mm when folded. Despite being only 189 grams, it's still quite a thick boy, but it has a nearly invisible crease, which is a huge positive on a foldable. It's IPX8 certified, so it's water resistant but not dust resistant. Although Moto claims that they have integrated a new cover design and brush filters to minimize the damage from dust. The in-hand feel is excellent. The premium soft touch leather is quite grippy, but reaching the top of the main screen can be quite tricky due to the 22:9 aspect ratio. Some apps do get cut off on the cover screen and the orientation can get messed up when switching between displays. Hope these bugs can be folded out. See what we did there? It's also easier to flick open or snap shut the phone with just one hand, which is very satisfying. So far, the displays also look quite promising. The cover screen is massive at 4 inches and the inner display measures 6.9 inches. Both are LTPO POLED panels with HDR10 Plus certification and pretty great brightness levels. The best thing about the cover display is how you can run pretty much any app on it. This is unheard of amongst the flips we have in the market in India, which makes this very exciting. Texting is surprisingly easy on this cover screen and I'm not joking. I could even play a game of Pokemon Unite with relative ease. As for the cameras, there's a 50 megapixel primary and a 50 megapixel telephoto camera. Motorola has ditched the ultra wide and I'm not sure how people will feel about that, but I honestly do use the telephoto lens more than an ultra wide. So far, the initial impressions of the camera are good. Portraits look nice, but low light shots have some lens flare. There are also some lag issues within the camera app and I found that the phone does heat a bit when clicking pictures. Finally, the performance is a little bit of a disappointment as per my initial impressions. The Snapdragon 8S Gen 3 gave me lower scores in CPU benchmarks compared to the Moto Razr 40 Ultra with its Snapdragon 8 Plus Gen 1, which is quite disappointing. It also throttles a lot, as you can see here. To know more, stay tuned for our full review on the Digit.in website. So my initial impressions are mostly positive, but the performance does worry me a bit. Now, let's move on to AI. Motorola is heavily marketing the Moto Razr 50 Ultra's AI capabilities and at first glance, it looks pretty darn impressive. The Razr 50 Ultra features Gemini on the cover screen, which works exceptionally well. Razr users also get 3 months of Gemini advanced features free, including 2 TB of Google Cloud storage. There are several AI camera features as well, such as photo enhancements, super zoom and much more. And you can also edit with AI on Google Photos. Motorola promises access to Magic Eraser, Photo Unblur and Magic Editor, all of which work pretty well. Moto's own AI features are quite sparing though. They include wallpaper generation through text prompt or using an image as an inspiration. Now, the Moto Razr 50 Ultra has a lot of third-party AI features, but how does its own hardware fare in terms of our AI tests? Let's see. We ran several AI benchmarks that check how well a phone can perform under certain parameters such as object recognition, face recognition, camera scene detection, image deblurring, and much more. However, the scores of the Razr 50 Ultra were underwhelming. Take a look for yourself. The less expensive Moto Edge 50 Ultra beat it pretty easily. And while the Razr 50 Ultra has abundant AI features, its on-device AI processing is mediocre. Now, we've been pretty harsh on the phone with our tests, but in reality, the Moto Razr 50 Ultra is quite a fascinating blend of cutting-edge hardware and innovative AI features. We have to give it that. Its cover screen is simply the best in the industry, and the AI features such as Gemini, Magic Eraser, and AI wallpapers do make it stand out in this space. But the Galaxy Z Flip is coming, and it is going to be an AI champ from the looks of it. So will the Moto Razr 50 Ultra still manage to stand out then? Don't worry, we'll be there to compare these devices for you when the Z Flip does launch. Until then, the Motorola Razr 50 Ultra is a premium device with a few quirks but plenty of potential. But maybe wait a couple of days before buying it because the grass could be greener elsewhere. And with that, I'm signing off. See you next time.